Yo, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty ridiculous one. It's about a mistake I made back in high school. Today's story time is about the time that I hit my teacher with a bottle and then got caught with a vape in my backpack, all on the same day, all in the same 45-minute span. You're probably wondering, Austin, how did you hit your teacher with a bottle? Well, I will tell you, okay? Let's start this. So this story time takes place back in high school. This all started off as a normal day for me. I got up, got out of bed, got ready for school, got on the bus, went to school, went through pretty much most of my classes that day. But then I got to lunch, okay? And lunch was a wonderful time, okay? Every time the bell rang and it was time for lunch, I would usually run to the cafeteria because it was really one of my only breaks throughout the day. And this time was a little bit different, all right? They let out class and me and three friends of mine got in a group and we were just kind of slowly walking to the cafeteria in the hallway with a bunch of people. There were so many people out in the hallway going to lunch. Now I remember during this time that Vine was blowing up really, really big. And specifically this one Vine was blowing up. It was the one where the girl's walking through the school hallway and she has a bottle and she goes, "This bitch empty, yeet," and she just throws it across the hallway filled with people. So, at the time, I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, me and my friends are walking to lunch, and my one friend's drinking a Gatorade. He's almost done with it. He had it from the vending machine, and it's almost done, and I'm like, you know what? When he finishes that, I'm gonna do something really funny. So he finishes it, and we're just about to walk into lunch, and there's just a crowd of people in this narrow hallway about to get to the lunchroom. And I look over at my friend, I'm like, yo, give me that bottle real quick. He's like, why? I was about to throw it out. I'm like, just give me it. He's like, okay. And he hands me it, and my friends are all looking at me like, what are you about to do with this bottle? And I just look at it, and I go, "This bitch empty, yeet!" And I threw it across the entire hallway into a bunch of people. And I didn't hear anything, no one yelled and no one said anything, so I assumed that I just didn't hit anybody, which was a good thing. I didn't want to hit somebody, I just kind of wanted to, make the dramatic effect of throwing it into a crowd. But sadly that wasn't the case, because right when we're about to go into the lunchroom, I see my teacher standing in the middle of the hallway around this whole crowd of people, holding the empty Gatorade bottle, and she looks at me and goes, "Did you just throw this into the crowd?" And I just hesitated. I was like, and she goes, "Someone told me you just threw this. Did you, Austin?" I was like, "Yeah, I did. I'm sorry." And she goes, "Well, it just hit me right in the back of the head." And when my friends heard that, they were like, "All right, gotta go, Austin. Have a good lunch." And they walked into the cafeteria without me. And my teacher goes, "Go to the principal's office right now. Take the bottle with you." So yeah, I go to the principal's office, I sit down, and I proceed to tell my principal and my counselor about how I threw a bottle into a crowd of people thinking it would be funny, and I accidentally hit my teacher in the back of the head. And my principal and my school counselor just go on this whole 10-15 minute rant about how I can't be doing that. It's not funny to throw bottles into crowds, even if they're empty. I could seriously hurt someone or hit somebody in the eye. And I understood. And I was like, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again." And I didn't plan on it, trust me. And they ended up sending me back to lunch, which was good. I was like, okay, good. I didn't get, lunch attention. I didn't get suspended. I didn't get really any serious punishment for what I did. So I go back to lunch as quick as I can because I'd already missed 15-20 minutes of lunch, and lunch wasn't long at all. So I didn't want to miss any more of it. So I got to the cafeteria. I got my lunch. I sat down with my friends. I told them all about what just happened. And they were like, "Yo, you're so lucky you didn't get in any more trouble. I can't believe they let you off the hook." And I was like, "Yeah, me neither." So anyway, we go through the rest of lunch, and lunch ends. And we're walking to our next class. It was our second to last class before the day was over. And me and one of my friends who was at my lunch table had the next class together. And we sat at the same table in that class. So anyway, yeah, after lunch was over, we walked to our next class. Me and my friend sat down at our table. And the teacher comes up to us, and she looks at my friend, and she goes, "Hey, the main office called down. The principal wants to see you right now." And my friend goes, "Oh, okay." And then he looks at me after the teacher walks away, and he looks so, just scared. And I knew he did something wrong. I was like, "Yo, what'd you do?" He's like, "Bro, I got caught using my vape in third period today. I knew they were going to send me up to the office for a search. They're going to search my backpack. They're going to search my locker. Can you please take my vape for me?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, come on." He's like, "Please, bro." I'm like, "Fine." And he's like, "Bro, thank you so much." And he goes into his backpack and he pulls out his vape and he hands it to me under the table. And this thing is huge, okay? This thing is like a telescope in my hand right now. And I'm putting it in my backpack. I'm unzipping it. And right as I'm about to put this vape in my backpack, this girl that sits right across from me at the other table goes, "Ooh, Austin has a vape in his hand." Like we're in preschool. And I turn and I look at her and I'm like, "Why would you do that?" And she goes, "'Cause it's funny." So I look over and my teacher's staring at me and she goes, "Austin, go up to the main office right now." So me and my friend both stand up and we start walking up to the main office together. And we get up to the main office and my principal talks to my friend first. And then after that, I get called in while my friend's still in there to talk to my principal with my friend. And my principal goes, "Austin, you were just in here not even 45 minutes ago. Like, what did you do now?" And I was like, "Well, I was putting a vape into my backpack. And this girl that sits in near me decided to announce it to everybody." And then my principal goes, "Well, I know you guys both sit together in that class because your teacher told me you do. So were you both hitting the vape in class?" And I just say, "No, I didn't hit the vape at all. Neither did my friend. Like, I was just putting it in my backpack." And my friend goes, "Yeah, neither of us hit it. I was giving it to Austin. It was mine. I was letting him put it in his backpack while I came up here in case you guys search me because I didn't want to get caught with it in my backpack or in my locker." And the principal goes, "Oh, so it's yours?" And my friend's like, "Yeah." So all of a sudden, the school police officer walks into the room, and the principal's like, "Yeah, so we're going to do a search on both of your guys' backpacks to make sure you guys don't have anything else. And then after that, I'll let you guys know what your punishments are, and then you'll be good to go." I'm like, okay. So the school police officer goes through my friend's first and found nothing in there. And then he goes over to mine and he starts searching mine. And he finds the vape first, which everybody already knew about, so that wasn't too big of a deal. And then he grabs my notebook, and on the front of my notebook is just a giant dick that my friend drew on the front of it. And they both see it, my principal and the school cop, and they both look at me in disappointment afterwards, like I was the one that drew that. And my friend just starts laughing so hard, like uncontrollably laughing. And my principal was like, "It's not funny, stop laughing." And my friend immediately stops laughing. And I look at both of them, I'm like, "Just so you know, like, I really didn't draw that." And my principal goes, "Austin, it doesn't matter. I don't mind the inappropriate drawing. I just want to know if you have anything else in your backpack that you're not allowed to have at school." I'm like, "No, I don't. It's just that vape." And then the school police officer was like, "He's right. I can't find anything else. It's just that vape device." And my principal goes, "Okay, so here's the deal. You get 3 days of ISS." And that was for my friend. So he had 3 days of in-school suspension, which meant he just had to come to school every day. And first thing in the morning, he would go to this one room and sit in that one room all day just working on stuff with a security guard in the room. And then my principal pointed at me and was like, "In Austin, you get 1 day of ISS." Which just meant I had to sit in that same room as my friend for 1 day instead of 3. So I was pretty glad that it was just 1 day of ISS, because out of school suspension, I definitely would have gotten like in a lot more trouble with my parents. So that was good, but it still wasn't fun that I got in school suspension in the first place. So yeah, after that, my principal told us that it starts the next day and that we can go back down right now and finish our classes. So we did. Me and my friend went back to class. We finished that class up. We went to our next class, finished that up. And then after that, we went home. And the next day started, and that's when we had to go to ISS. And we both were in there for that day. I had 1 day, so that was it for me. But my friend had 2 more after that. And yeah, in the end, we were all good. We didn't get in a ton of trouble, which was good. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, moral of this story is, don't be like us in this story time. Don't throw a bottle into a crowd. Don't bring a vape to school. Definitely not good ideas. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.